The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Years, this Prime Minister is not worth the cost of housing, which has doubled. Now we see that there's been a 63% increase in the number of Canadians who are going to alternative lenders to get mortgages because they can no longer get approved by the main banks. That means interest rates as high as 15% per year. We haven't seen those types of rates since the last Trudeau was in power. Will the Prime Minister reverse his inflationary spending in the upcoming fall economic update so that we can bring down interest rates and our Canadian people can keep their homes?
Mr. Speaker, it's important that you understand that the honourable member's plan to actually have more homes built seems to be to cut funding to build those homes. I was in Brampton last week where we announced $114 million that's going to help Brampton build more than 24,000 homes over the next decade. He plans to cut it. When it comes to getting more homes built, we're removing the GST on new apartments in this country. He plans to put it back on. Mr. Speaker, we're going to continue to make the investments necessary. We agree that there are people struggling. The difference between us is we have a problem a solution to the problem.
Absolutely right that he has a problem that he and his government created. After 8 years, this Prime Minister has doubled rent, doubled mortgage payments, and now his plan is a $4 billion program that 2 years in has not built a single solitary home, and he wants to target tax benefits for the construction of $10 million penthouse apartments. Will they instead reverse their inflationary spending so we can bring down interest rates and let Canadians keep their homes? Hear, hear.
Mr. Speaker, you want to talk about housing program delivery. When he was the minister, he had $300 million go towards the building of only 99 homes over years, Mr. Speaker. We're continuing to roll out programs that are literally changing the ways that cities build homes. We have helped build or repair nearly 500,000 homes through the National Housing Strategy, which his party voted against. He's now opposing measures that's going to make it cheaper to build the homes that Canadians need. We're going to get it done by continuing to incentivize home building, supporting the people who are going to put roofs over the heads of our neighbours. It's the right thing to do. It's a shame that he opposes it.
Speaker, after 8 years, the National Housing Strategy of which he speaks has doubled housing costs. Yeah. It doubled the cost of mortgages, rent, and down payments. And yes, it costs many millions more than what we spent when we were in government, but we delivered housing that was half the cost of what it is today. Now on to restaurants. Today we learned that 1/3 of restaurants are losing money. That leaves them 3 choices: shut down, cut wages, or raise prices on Canadians. Will the government reverse the carbon taxes and the inflationary increases to interest rates that are forcing our restaurants to go under and costing waitresses and servers their jobs?
Mr. Speaker, as a former small business owner myself, I know that small businesses are the backbone of these communities. And as a small business owner, I'm glad the Conservatives are not in charge. Small businesses wouldn't be saving $1 billion in credit card transaction fees. Women entrepreneurs would not have $7 billion of investment through our women entrepreneurship strategy, nor the $10 a day childcare that has put more women into the workforce. Conservatives have been voting against these efforts to support small businesses, including women entrepreneurs, and they are not worth the risk.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. After 8 years of this Prime Minister, housing has doubled in cost, and now CMHC has said that there has been a 63% increase in the number of Canadians that use alternative loans. They pay up to 15% in interest for these alternative mortgages. Will the Prime Minister finally change his inflationary ways so that the Bank of Canada can reduce interest rates so that Canadians can keep their houses? The Honourable Minister. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My colleague across the way claims that he and his party want to march towards prosperity, but that would be through austerity. Canadians know that all the Conservatives represent is to chop things up. Chop, 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 Mr. Speaker. Chopping funding for small craft ports, chopping in various programs that our communities need. The Conservative Party is like being a shark that claims to be vegetarian. They're not credible at all. They are not worth the risk, Mr. Speaker. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Speaker. Canadians are already living through austerity. They have to chop, chop, chop their own personal budgets, groceries, gas, and now their homes. There's now a new phenomenon. Seniors, middle-class seniors, find themselves homeless after the doubling of housing costs. A man in Calgary saw a $1,600 increase in his housing costs, and now he cannot find a place to rent. Will the government finally change its mind so we can reduce interest rates so that our seniors can keep a roof over their heads? The Honourable Minister. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was saying, Mr. Speaker, I'm sad to announce that on the other side of the House, they seem to have a cracked crystal ball. They want to cut everywhere. They're even cutting into their crystal balls now. They have no plan. They have no vision, Mr. Speaker. And so, please ask them to fix their crystal balls so that they can better see in the future.